So I was having a discussion last night and I realized something. I was thinking about my life in general, all the way up to now. And I realized that no matter what I do, I'm never going to be big. And what I mean by that is I don't seek to be big. Like, I don't want a bunch of followers, none of that shit. I don't want to be known as, like, even be seen as something famous. Like, yeah, I walk around now, people randomly be like, "Oh, you got a podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Now, the thing that gets me is my goal for the podcast is to reach those that need to be reached. And I realize I'm never really going to be able to do that because I'm never supposed to be big. And what I mean by I'm never supposed to be big is the way that I am, I'm either a you hate me or you love me type of person. And the way that the world is, I'm oftentimes hated just because I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to do what's right regardless. And a lot of people have no choice but to face the wrong that they're doing by being around me, which therefore causes them to hate me. They don't like that feeling of having accountability. And I'm not going to fake anything to try and make people feel good or make people feel happy. Because in this day and age, for people to be happy, you either got to be fake or you have to stroke their ego and make them believe what they want to believe. I'm not like that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. Now, the things that I seek to do is to help people. For majority of my life, I've been helping people physically. I've been protecting people physically. That was what my business was. I moved away from that because even though I'm helping people physically, I'm also hurting people that calls for the job that I used to do. I come on here and I want to help people and validate people and let people know that, you know what, we all go through hard times. I want to assure people that things will get better. I've gone through a lot in my life and things are constantly getting better. The only way that's going to happen for me to reach my goal is for people to support it. Now, support. I had to have this conversation with people who are close around me where they're like, "Oh, I support you." I'm like, "Okay, my goal is to reach as many as possible, to help as many as possible. How are you supporting me?" Because I do everything myself. Publicity, editing, recording, reaching out to people, emails, scheduling, everything. Creating thumbnails, events, public events, social events, everything myself. Well, I watch the videos. Okay, how is that supporting me towards my goal of reaching as many as possible? Reaching those that need to be reached? It's not. So the only things that I ask is, yeah, likes and everything are cool, but for me to reach those that need to be reached, that need to be helped, these things need to get shared. Like, okay, cool, yes. Liking it, watching it, note it, sharing it. Because one thing with this world is there's a lot of knowledge, but people seem to hold on to that knowledge. So that knowledge gets lost because it was never passed on. It's the same thing with these videos. I'm not going to be up here shaking ass and doing all this stupid stuff. I'm doing things that people need. All I ask is if you want to support me, then just share the videos. So that way those who may need it can get it, can see it. That is the best way that you can support me. And for anybody else who's doing anything, I recommend you ask people to do the same thing. To just share it. Because when they share it, it's going to reach so many more people. Now with me, I'm an introvert. Coming on here and doing these things, saying these things, I'm already putting myself out there. I do the podcast, and that is exhausting. I will say this: leaving comments of things that I can do better, or even if you want to criticize me, it's not going to affect me at all. But leaving comments, I love to have intellectual conversation. So leaving comments, that right there could also brighten my day. Because when I was fighting depression heavily, I realized it was because of the fact that my mind was not being stimulated. And due to that, I was constantly in my head, which constantly was how I was walking myself down. So if I am not stimulating my mind, I'm doing myself a great disservice and ultimately wasting my time. If I'm not learning something or causing myself to think about things differently or new avenues, I'm going to question a lot of things. And when I question a lot of things, I start to notice a lot of things. And when I start to notice a lot of things, I get upset. Because I know what this place can be. I know how this place can be. But when you start to notice things, you start to realize how people are. You start to realize how selfish individuals are. You start to realize how a lot of people rather avoid doing anything because they are so worried about what people are going to think about them. They're more worried about how they look towards others rather than how they feel towards themselves. Sometimes being mindful can be catastrophic due to the fact that you're in the moment seeing everything for what it is and how it is, which therefore then sometimes just makes me want to think back to how things were, or even to think about what things can be. But we all know that thinking in the past can bring more drama and problems sometimes than being in the now. And thinking in the future can bring a lot of anxiety because it's truly unknown. So being in the now is the perfect place because it's constantly a gift. And the best thing about this gift is you know what you're going to give yourself. But the hardest thing about this gift is you don't know what anybody else is going to give you. Relax your mind. It's divine time.